You are listening to Transreal News, the finest news, forecasts, and advisories for psychonauts traveling the astral plane and beyond. I'm your host, Toby Dampt. And now, the news in brief. There has been a disaster in Uluru, Australia today. Combat cyborgs located and bombed the hidden Substrate Industries facility, inadvertently spreading seeds of Substrate's new super peyote across the desert. Substrate representatives have stated that there is a high likelihood that their new strain will become an invasive species, which could represent an ecological disaster on par to the Frop invasion in New Mexico. The child punched out of the time stream in Halifax, Nova Scotia, we reported in our last broadcast, is still missing. Search parties believe he may have skipped multiple Tuesdays. Was the Escheaton immanentized and just turned out to be a letdown? Psionics Today interviews Discordian prophetess Kitty von Ratzenberg at 13 o'clock. Experts agree that as reality continues to break down, storms of high-queel irreality will continue to spread across the multiverse, blending past and future, fantasy and the real, sometimes leading to radical shifts in the world you inhabit. Dr. Inokia Segle's book, Try Not to Understand, Coping with a Fractally Demented Universe, which describes tools for everyday people to use to cope with the irreality, is now the #1 bestseller across 9 probabilities. It will likely soon manifest in bookstores near you. And now, your time-space forecast with Walter Haversquirrel.
Listeners, please pay careful attention. As we move from future utopias to past dystopian action, you'll find that happiness becomes less mandatory and conformity even more. Watch out, Los Angeles in particular, because McCarthyism is going to make a brief comeback over the course of the week. To our confused Quebecois brothers who find themselves suddenly needing to move by canoe, I say this: Allumé. As present sociodynamics begin to reassert themselves, people will find themselves struggling with the meaningless of a past lockdown life. In fact, the level of meaninglessness and despair may reach 2 Camus by the weekend. Thank you, Toby.
And now, a commercial message from our partners. And now a message from Retrograde Dynamics. Are you tired of a world where people are stiff and afraid to offend? Are you bored with reality television and slice-of-life comedy? Do you wish there were more tits on TV? So do we. At Retrograde Dynamics, we are turning back the clock, creating products, events, and even pocket realities built on vibrations and products of better, simpler times. Have your own home cast back to the 1980s. Watch movies from reanimated greats like Roger Corman and Alfred Hitchcock as they should have been. Or simply read smut collected from the sauciest authors in history. Retrograde Dynamics. Why live in the past? Because the future sucks. In lighter news, the Uluru Constabulary released a statement to their local population of normies. What we need now is for everyone to remain calm. We are experiencing some kind of mass hysteria. There are no giants, no robots, no sword-wielding Japanese women, and no Vikings wandering around the town. All the drones you've been seeing flying over town appear to be part of some kind of massive hoax, or hallucination, or mass hypnosis. We're still trying to figure out which. Please, carry on business as usual, and know that we will get to the bottom of all these alarming experiences. Good luck with that. And now Clee Maxwell with the latest advisories for psychonautic travelers.
Hello, my loves, it's your spirit guide, Clee Maxwell, with another round of advisories to make sure that your trip across the alternity is a safe and pleasant one. And that involves reminding you, my friends, and I'm sorry to say it, but you're still not going to go snoo-snoo, even though the barbarian women are once again spreading from the 20th to the 22nd century. No, if you try to seduce a barbarian's wife or daughter, I'm afraid that what you're going to find is that you'll die in a far less pleasant and exciting manner than you were hoping. They've made it a game to see how many perverts they can behead in a single swing. Speaking of spreading across the multiverse, on a more positive note, The Hive is coming to a town near you. If you know where to look, you'll be able to find a hive bar and get the amazing drinks and even more amazing personal services made available by the insectoids from the Televistic slime. Finally, if you're looking for excitement that is possibly lethal and pleasurable at the same time, I highly recommend trying quantum flux diving, the latest sport that psychonauts have invented. See what happens when you jump naked into a wormhole and where you end up. That's it for now, Toby. Have an exciting time, my loves.
You have been listening to the Transreal News, part of the Transreality News Network, your finest source for advice for psychonauts, astral projectors, ethereal jaunters, and people on serious LSD trips. From all of us to all of you, safe journeys. The Transreal News was created, written, performed, and directed by Brian C. Rideout, and produced by Stormhead Productions. It is copyright 2024 by Brian C. Rideout, and is released under a Creative Commons by attribution, non-commercial license. For show notes and more information, visit us at trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca. Thank you so much for listening.